Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Transformers Studio series shown at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. So we do have official images of these. Some of them are actually on display. One is not on display that is shown here, though. At least it's not on display at the moment. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about them all. The only exception to that is Dropkick. I have made a separate video specifically talking about Dropkick. So I'll show them in this video, but the other video is going to be my main thoughts on the figure. But here I'm just going to be talking about the others. Bumblebee, again, I've made a separate video about Bumblebee based on how he looked out in person at the show. But here, having the official image of him, I think he looks a lot better in the official image. I do think that he's more defined in this image. It looks like the backpack does not go down as far as it did on display. So that's probably just how they've kind of edited it for the photo here. Unfortunately, it's probably not that it actually compacts more, but it's probably just how they've taken the photo here, which is a shame. But still, I think that this looks like a much better version of Bumblebee from the one at the show. The show looked decent, but this one looks really nice, and I do like the fact that you can see that he has ankle pivots, so that is a great feature. So now the next one we have Shadow Rider, or Shadow Raider. This is a Transformers Age of Extinction figure. This is kind of like a concept series, or just kind of a inaccurate figure, I guess you can call it. This is essentially locked down with orange pieces, so nothing too special. I'm not a fan of the fact that they're doing this. It's kind of because it's the same lockdown figure we already have, but with a new head and a new weapon, and then an orange paint scheme, which is not accurate in the slightest. But I do like the fact that you do have the helmeted head. Considering it is just on a ball joint, you probably will be able to switch it with the other lockdown if you wanted to. And then this gun, I don't know if it can fit on the head and give him the gun head type of look, but that would be cool. I hope it could. Personally, I don't plan to pick this up just because I don't like the orange, and it's not even worth me getting and repainting, to be honest, because it really is just the head that's different, so it's not really worth it. If this is like on a really good sale or something, I could see myself purchasing it. Then we have Dark of the Moon Ratchet, and of course Deluxe Class again. This is him in a much darker green color scheme. This color scheme almost looks more like Age of Extinction. I feel like he was a little darker in Age of Extinction, so that kind of fits that a little bit more. It's not very accurate. It's a little too, like, I like it. I like the color scheme of this, but it's not really accurate. Like, I feel like the other Ratchets are more accurate, so I'm not too into this, and again, I'm gonna definitely skip this one. The first Ratchet isn't even selling well, so I don't understand why they think just repainting this Ratchet will, do any better for him. But yeah, I don't think it's great. Then we have the KSI Sentry. This is kind of interesting. It's one of the KSI drones, of course, and it's a retool of the Steiner figure. It's essentially, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same thing but with a new head. Now, I don't have the Steiner figure yet. I did just purchase it. It probably will be here in a few days, so I'm excited for that. But I assume that it is the same thing, just with a different head and a repaint. The thing that I like about it, though, is that it's a nice repaint. I like the blue that they used. I think it looks really cool. I like the mixture of blue, the dark, shiny blue, black, and silver. I think it looks really nice together. And the head sculpt, I think, looks really good. That's a good KSI drone head sculpt. So I kind of like it because it's not supposed to represent like a specific drone, and it works as a drone. It really does. So I think that this will look pretty nice, up against Galvatron and the Steiner figure. I think that those two would look good together. So I do plan to pick this one up. I probably won't go nuts trying to get it or pay anything. I won't pay much for it. I'll probably get it at a discount like I did Steiner. But overall, I think that it's worth getting, at least for me. So I kind of like it. It's a nice way of redoing it. Then we have Ironhide. Now, we've seen Ironhide before. I think that this is the first time we have like an official image of it, though, if I'm not mistaken. Ironhide looks pretty good. I've heard it's very good, and it does seem to be in scale with the rest of the Autobots, which is cool. I think that his hands look way too tiny, but other than that, I think he looks like a solid figure. So I do plan to pick that one up, but again, I'm not rushing for it, but I do think it's worth it. And then, like I mentioned, I will show you Dropkick. Here he is. I do have a lot to say about this one, especially with how what he transforms into and how he compares with the official image, this image of Dropkick. So if you want my full thoughts on that, feel free to check out that video. But there you go. There's the figures that have been shown. They also did show a Starscream with the tattoos from Revenge of the Fallen. However, they didn't release an official image of that. But it's the same thing as the other Starscream, just with a new paint job and a new buzzsaw accessory instead of the missile launcher. So if you know, it's nothing too much to talk about. It looks good, but I have the other one and I'm fine with it. So yeah, so there you go. That's my thoughts on the new Studio Series figures that have been shown. Can't wait to see what more they do, especially from the Bumblebee movie. Of course, there's plenty more characters they can do from Bumblebee movie, but there's plenty more figures they can do from the all the other movies as well. So can't wait to see the future of this line, because I'm happy they're continuing it. I am a little like gun shy about it for the fact that like this wave, the Bumblebee figures are new, but everybody else is just kind of like a repaint or redeco of an older figure, so that's a little disappointing. But hopefully, even if they do some repaints, they will still continue doing new sculpts. So there you go, that's my thoughts on the Studio Series figures from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.